Hi, my name is Jasbeer Musthafa. I'm a media and communication researcher from Western Sydney University, Australia, and I research about misinformation and digital inequalities. I'm also associated with the CJP in combating misinformation and hate speech. So, this video resource is produced as part of the CJP's ongoing mission of exposing hate speech and educating people on counter hate speech techniques and strategies. Now, why CJP? Simply because rarely does anyone has this sort of experience in fighting hate speech and hate crimes and organized violence in India. For the last 30 years, in the form of on ground interventions and legal actions, the CJP has observed, reported, and fought hate in the courts and outside. We have a very clear understanding of how hate builds and how exactly hate kills. As you might know, misinformation and hate speech have very real consequences. Before I go into detail, allow me to explain what is misinformation and what is the difference between misinformation and disinformation. So, misinformation is any content that has information that is false or misleading, but person who is spreading it believes that it is true. These are also unintentional mistakes such as inaccurate photo captions, dates and statistics, or translations, or when satire is taken seriously. Now, disinformation is fabricated or deliberately manipulated textual, audio, visual content and intentionally created conspiracy theories or rumors. Disinformation is also false information, but unlike misinformation, the person who is disseminating disinformation knows it is false. It is an intentional lie. Disinformation is the deliberate spreading of false information for political, economic, and other benefits. Disinformation is conceptually close to propaganda. You know, in India, WhatsApp is a very popular medium for networking with friends, families, and colleagues. We sometimes even use WhatsApp to attend online classes and whatnot. But did you know that WhatsApp is also a key medium for spreading hate speech? Currently, as per a study by the Deloitte, India has about 750 million smartphone users. And among the smartphone applications, WhatsApp has enormous popularity. It is in a typical scenario, many users of the application would be part of a handful of WhatsApp groups, and the messages exchanged through these groups range from motivational quotes to medical reports. The immense popularity of WhatsApp has made itself incarnate into a key and oftentimes dangerous tool for political communications. So, recent studies show that in the case of cow protection vigilantism, a key activity within Hindutva mobilizations, WhatsApp was foundational in developing an atmosphere where rumors or skirmish can gravitate towards violence, which often ends in killings. Studies also show that in India, WhatsApp groups have been used not only to spread hatred, but also for planning and execution of acts of violence. By the way, when we use the word studies show, we do not use it for the sake of saying it. We'll be providing a detailed reference list of these studies at the end of this video. Now, the question is how to combat this spread of misinformation and hate speech. The COVID-19 pandemic has made us develop an impactful strategy to contain the spread of the virus. It is commonly known as test and trace method. To a certain degree, the same approach can be adopted to combat the spread of misinformation or disinformation and hate speech. For example, number one, test the accuracy of online content. Number two, trace it back to the source. Number three, isolate it to stop it from spreading further. I repeat, only to a certain degree. But on WhatsApp, sometimes the scenario is far more complex. Tracing the origin of the content on WhatsApp is nearly impossible. Videos, audio clips, and images are gone from one point to another with a simple tap or swipe. This is why it is very important we know to talk to our contacts, especially those closest to us, about misinformation or disinformation or hate speech they might have shared. Let me offer you some tips to tackle and prevent the spread of misinformation or hate speech via our WhatsApp groups or similar chatting platforms. Tip number one: always be skeptical. Do not share content unless you verify it. Tip number two: if you feel suspicious about the content, search the keywords from that suspicious messages. You will probably see verified articles appear in the search results, helping you determine the veracity of the message. Number three: if the message invokes extreme emotions in you, if the content makes you take actions against minority communities, if it is getting forwarded multiple times, if the image looks altered or edited, then there is a chance that the content you see is quite possibly a misinformation or misleading information. Tip number four: if you find the message suspicious, if the photos or memes or video or voice notes you receive contain call for the attack or violence and or include messages to hate a community, then do not share it. Stop it right there. Delete it. Tip number five: if you, like us, are concerned about the spread of this misinformation and hate speech, and if you like to see actions taken against the perpetrators, then get in touch with us. See you in next episode with another resource on counter misinformation and hate speech. Let's cross-check and verify the information. Let's do it together. Let's do it now. Thank you.